very soon. So we're going to cover transfer, 2-year degrees, and certificates in our area. So if you're interested in computers, you're at the correct place. So if you come and take our classes, you can transfer. That means that you would probably have 2 years here at Blackhawk and 2 years at another college. The programs that we have are computer science and computer science information systems. And when you come here and take courses for those, you probably will want to consider transferring to a college close, which is what a lot of students do. Transferring to the Western Illinois University Moline campus is very popular with our students transferring. Blackhawk College does have a linkage agreement with Western Illinois Moline campus. That just means that we've predetermined what courses you'll take at Blackhawk and that they will transfer, and Western will take those courses. So that's our agreement. We have a lot of students that transfer to St. Ambrose, but there are several other Illinois colleges that are popular. You should probably check with your advisor who can check with those colleges and make sure that things are working out for you to transfer. All right, so if you just want to take 2 years of college, then go out and get a job. We do have an Applied Associate of Science degree. That's an AAS degree. It is called Computer Information Technology. So the CIT AAS degree. It has 3 tracks. So this is 3 areas of expertise that you would decide, hey, I think that's for me. One is called the Secure Software Development. This is our programming track. We also have an IT support specialist and a network and security administration track. So yay, you're ready for employment in 2 years. We also have an internship class for all 3 of those tracks that you'll get an internship, do some work, and a lot of times it leads to a full-time position for our students. So beyond the AAS, we also have certifications. We try and prepare you for an industry cert that all the industries, I'm sorry, that in like the United States, it is recognized as an industry cert. So they know what your skill level is. So with our 2-year AAS degree, you're going to get a broad knowledge of many areas of IT. So, you know, no matter what track you're choosing for your area of expertise, you're going to also learn a little bit about computer hardware, about networking, about computer and network security. You'll also take some courses that allow you to learn about operating systems and supporting those. You'll also do some command line work and scripting. You'll do some programming, and you're going to learn some HTML and CSS for website development and support. So you're going to get some broad knowledge no matter what track you choose. So then you're going to get into the courses in your track. These are going to give you that in-depth knowledge. About 27 credits in your chosen track are going to prepare you for that skill that you've chosen. And again, these are the 3 tracks that we have: the Secure Software Development, IT support, and Network and Security Administration. So we said that we have an AAS degree, and we also have certificates. Certificates take a much shorter time to complete, usually about a year. And we don't recommend those for students that are coming right out of high school, or this is, you know, their first delve into the technical realm. This is mostly for people that are returning to college to learn additional skills. and have already worked in the IT area. So again, if you're coming right out of high school or haven't worked before, we'd rather that you get the AAS degree, the 2-year degree. All right, so let me just talk a little bit about that programming track, which is called Secure Software Development. If you decide that you want to choose this track for your AAS degree, you're going to learn object-oriented programming using Java. You're also going to learn C programming for security. You're going to learn to write Linux shell scripts. You're also going to learn PowerShell. You're going to also learn secure programming and software engineering techniques that are currently used in industry. You're also going to create applications for mobile devices and learn to design databases. So in those other 27 credits, or maybe a little more, you're going to learn a lot of different things that are going to give you a nice idea about the programming area, but also about security and also about software engineering. So the secure software developers that we have had graduate, they've gone on to jobs at Von Maur. And no, not just selling clothes, but actually working in the IT department. The Rock Island Arsenal, townnews.com, Modern Woodman, EBE Technologies, Shared IT. Also, I forgot to add to the list SEPA Filter. So all of these have provided local jobs for students that have graduated with their focus in this track. So again, students will seek out an internship in this track, and a lot of those students have received a job offer for a full-time job after completing their internship. So some of them have gone on to a 4-year institution. So they've decided, well, after those 2 years that they really want to go on. And we have had that happen with our AAS degree. St. Ambrose has been the popular institution for students that have changed midstream, so to speak, from saying, hey, I want the AAS degree to, oh no, now I want to transfer. Can you make this happen? So St. Ambrose has been a very good link for those students. So this comes from the job, I think it's the government website for the job and career status. Quick facts for the computer programmers. And of course, this wage, $72,284 per year for computer programmers. Of course, our students always start a little bit lower than that, entry level, but it's a great niche out there for students. This is always changing, programming's changing. Devices that we write programs for are continuously changing. So our students never go without jobs. They can always find a job. And I'm going to turn it over to Don.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Don Mosier. I had a glitch with my own internet here, so I had to join a minute late. I teach in the IT support and network and security tracks. So I'll describe a little bit about what these tracks involve and talk about the program. IT support technician is sort of like the generic or the all-around PC technician. In addition to the stuff that Jamie mentioned that everybody takes, we go into more depth in all of these all these topics. So you will learn to install, repair, the troubleshooting class. We take a couple of classes on Windows in depth from the technical perspective, etc. So this would be the person that you might get a job in a company that builds PCs or supports PCs. You could get a job with a company with a large IT department, or at least their own internal IT department, and be a technician with them. So you would deploy PCs, fix things, install stuff, and do help desk. So just in general, the all-around IT support technician. The network administration and security track has much of the same background, the same basis, but we concentrate more on networking and on the server side, the file servers, and security, supporting a network. So that means supporting users and user accounts, permissions on the resources and things like that. That's where it varies from the IT support technician. It's more specialized toward the network side of things. You can change slides, Jamie. These are kind of, again, ballpark salaries that we get from the website there. And we also talk to our local IT employers and get their range of salaries for entry-level technicians. Jamie mentioned industry certifications as well, and I'll talk about those maybe a little more in depth. The three that are in my concentration are from CompTIA. That's an organization that is a computer industries organization, and they sponsor or present a number of IT-related certification exams, and we include in our program prep for 3 of those exams: the CompTIA A+ Certified Technician, Network Plus Technician, and Security Plus. And each of the tracks includes 1 or 2 of those, as you can see. So the IT support technician, those students have a chance to take and hopefully pass the A+ certification. So you can add that to your resume. If you do the network administration track, in addition to the coursework and the internship, you can also leave here with a Network Plus certification and Security Plus certification. Those are popular and useful for especially entry-level people. That sort of verifies your skill level a bit. And then the CCNA is a Cisco certification. Cisco is the company that makes routers and switches, sort of like the backbone of the internet, our Cisco routers. Jamie teaches the Cisco classes. You want to talk about the CCNA, Jamie?
Certainly. We have 3 courses that prepare you to take the CCNA exam. And we do provide that exam at Blackhawk College. We're a testing site for many exams, which Don can talk to you on. But after the 3 semesters of the Cisco courses, you can sit for that exam. It is an industry-wide certification that really shows that you know what you're working on and what you're talking about, and can certainly put you above and beyond the rest in the pack of people that have put in for a job. If you can sit for that exam and pass it, then I think that you're on the top of that stack of papers, and that you're going to do well in a job that works with networking equipment. Another thing is that most places of employment or schools, including Blackhawk College, have Cisco equipment running their network. So it's probably a very good idea if you're in networking to try and sit for this exam. So we'll prep you as best we can for that.
Go ahead and flip. We also have, as Jamie mentioned earlier, we have certificates for each of these tracks that you can earn in 2 semesters. Again, we recommend that these are for people who maybe have had some industry experience, or who have been out in the world and want to just get, as fast as possible, get an academic credential that they can maybe look for a different job or advance in their current job. We don't recommend these for people coming out of high school because they don't have all of the breadth. These just concentrate on about 8 classes or so that just prep you for the actually for the certifications, really, the A+ or the Network Plus and Security Plus. So they focus on those skills, and these do not include the internship, the 240 hours of internship. So again, certificates we have. One nice thing is that every class that is in either one of these certificates is also in the degree track. So we have students who are on their way to a 2-year degree, and once they have taken all of the classes that are in either one of these certificates, they can apply and get the certificate and have that, and maybe get a depending on where they work, they maybe get a raise at work or get a part-time job or something, or vice versa. Students who will be taking the certificate and then decide, I'm going to go ahead and get the degree. It's not that many more classes, and another 2 semesters probably to get the 2-year degree. So they give you some flexibility. Go ahead. Okay. So if you take, you do the 2-year degree, which is what we recommend for anybody that can, you would leave Blackhawk with an AAS degree in either IT support or network and security administration or secure software development, actually, either one. Throw Jamie side of the plug. You will have completed 240 hours of work for a vendor, an actual business where you do hands-on work and get hands-on experience. And over again, we hear from students that really helps to have things come together. It's great to get a degree, and we have a lot of hands-on class work, but nothing can replace experience in the field and being shoulder to shoulder with an actual programmer or network technician and seeing what they do, and then getting to participate and actually get some hands-on work in the field. So we feel that especially that internship gives our graduates a leg up over somebody that just comes out of school with no real field experience. Plus, you could earn up to 4 of these industry certifications. So you put that all together, and it's a pretty attractive package for an employer. And in a fair number of cases, students who have completed an internship get offered a job then with the employer, depending on economics, I guess, in some cases. But in any case, all of these together really give our graduates an employability. You look pretty attractive to employers, and employers know us too. We've had a number of employers tell us that the Blackhawk graduates are high on their list of desirables because they know the quality of the people that we put out there. Go ahead, Dave. So students in our program have gone, these are just a sample, but Arconic, which used to be Alcoa, Modern Woodman. And the Modern Woodman people always make sure we know that that's the insurance company. They're not the baseball team. They just bought the naming rights to the stadium. So you're working for an insurance company, not a baseball team. Contractors on the Arsenal, RSM, which is an accounting firm really, but they have an extensive IT department based here in Davenport. Stefanini, which is a help desk contractor who they do support for companies all over the world, Stefanini, and they have a branch here in Davenport. Sipafilter, which is kind of interesting. They provide a filter for web content for schools. There's legislation that says schools have to filter availability or accessibility to web content, which if you're high school students, you know about those probably. Sipafilter is one of the companies that makes those filters. So they need programmers. Shared IT is a local IT consultant and one of several that take our interns and graduates. We've had students at local hospitals, banks, school districts, other IT consultants, and we have at least a couple of students who have gone on and started their own companies, which have been successful. In fact, we have a former student right now who loves it to take our interns and kind of return the favor to us. He's a real supporter of our program, and he's happy to take our interns to work with him. So local jobs, and we've had students take jobs, of course, elsewhere, but we have students in some of the bigger companies in the area. suppose you start off thinking you want to do programming, and then you decide, gee, I kind of like that networking class that Mosier taught. So maybe I'll switch over to network administration. And the nice thing is the first semester for any of the 3 tracks is pretty much identical. So if you decide after the first semester that maybe you started off in IT support, but you like the programming or the web design course, so you want to switch to programming, it's not really going to cost you much of anything. We diverge a bit in the second semesters and beyond, but after that first semester, you're pretty much okay to change tracks without much of a hit. Only that I can think of only Network 125s, right, Jamie? Pretty much the initial Cisco class. If you think you're going to do network administration, you should take that first semester because that is the first of the Cisco courses. But otherwise, anything else that you have taken in the first semester will be good. So if you switch, it doesn't mean like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and I've just wasted a whole semester and it's going to take me an extra year to graduate. That's not the case. But we would always advise that you see an advisor or talk to a faculty person, a faculty member, before you just pick courses. The way that the classes are laid out in the catalog is the way we really think you should take them. And so there's not a whole lot of flexibility there. At least if you follow what's in the catalog, you'll save yourself potential hassle later. So Jen Holdorf is our advisor specifically for our area. So Jen knows the classes and she knows what we like students to take and what things need to be taken in what order, etc. So if you have questions about the program and you want to talk to an advisor, we'd recommend talking to Jen somewhere along the line. Or you're welcome to email us as well. We welcome that. So I guess we're ready for questions.
All right, if anybody does have questions, you can either unmute yourself, you can raise your hand, or you can use the chat functionality depending on what is working for you. We did have one question from the family that's on campus, and they were curious about the internship process and how the student goes about that.
Do you want me to take that, Jamie? Well, technically, we say that it's up to the student to find the internship, but of course, we probably do 90% of it. We know what local companies will take our interns, and we can steer interns to those. And so we don't technically place interns like you might maybe at a 4-year school or something, but we will definitely have a major hand in getting a student internship job. Happily, in normal times, our own ITS department here on campus takes a fair number of our students as interns, which means you work right on campus with the ITS department here. And we have others that we know are usually reliable to take an intern or so throughout the course of a semester. And we're pretty flexible. The internship class is in the 4th semester technically, but if you're lucky enough to find your own internship, or we find one and it's going to work out over the summer, or when we're in the middle of a semester, you can start the job and do the internship and turn in the documentation and get your hours in, and then just sign up for the class, Network 290, at the start of the next semester or however it works out. So we do everything we can to help students complete that internship and have it be not something that's going to hold you up. So.
Okay, perfect. And there was a follow-up question.
Okay.
With internships, are they typically paid or unpaid? And then you mentioned taking it, after the fact. Does that impact graduation at all?
First of all, paid or unpaid depends on the employer. Some can afford to pay an intern and are happy to do so. Some cannot afford to pay an intern, but you're getting the 240 hours of work, which you need anyway to graduate. So yeah, sometimes they're not paid. More often than not, they are paid though. As far as graduation, What happens if you get down and it's, you know, well, like right now, it's coming up on time to graduate, and through whatever circumstance, COVID has made it really tough for our interns right now. But so some of them are still completing hours. What happens is you get an incomplete for a grade for the network, or for the internship class rather. You can still walk at graduation if we have an in-person graduation. It's just that you don't get your actual diploma until you complete the hours and turn in the paperwork, and then you get a grade for the internship. Or actually, that applies to any class that you have an incomplete in for whatever circumstance. And so it's not all that common for that to happen, at least at graduation time. That's why we encourage students to think about an internship from day one. It does not have to be in the last semester. Somewhere usually third and fourth semesters or in between is when we would, you know, try to help you get an internship. So that's out of the way and it's not an issue. But if it does come up, it's not a huge deal. You just don't get your diploma until you complete the hours. You just keep working.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.